So who are you?
Hey guys, I'm Dominic Scarfo.
My name is Brett Bernardo.
Colin Real.
Hey, so my name's Owen Geis. I'm from Southern California. I went to public school and now I go to Gordon College. I'm going to be a sophomore there.
I go to Marquette University. I'm going to be a sophomore there.
I'm going to be a senior at Liberty University.
And I'm a senior graduating in December at Florida Southern College and grew up playing FCA Lacrosse and involved with FCA through high school.
So what were some expectations you had coming into the internship?
Well, growing up in the Towson area, I was kind of aware of the FCA office and what goes on, but I was never in the office 5 days a week or even with the tournament.
I had talked with several people who had been interning in the past, and each and every one of them kind of gave me their own spin on how they felt the internship went.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I came into this kind of thinking free trip to Vail, Stowe, and Gettysburg,
I had never done anything with FCA before. This was my first time really being involved, so I didn't really know what to think.
At the moment, I was more focused on the fact that I'd be around lacrosse the entire summer, and then I'd be able to play a lot, and I didn't really care about the faith aspect. But my mind and heart definitely changed on that during the summer, so.
What were some of your thoughts on the first day?
The first day was interesting. I was a little nervous. I was didn't really know any of these guys.
First, when I met the other interns, it was wild seeing where everyone came from. A guy from California, a guy from Virginia, a guy from New York, and me being from Maryland.
And then the next day I came to the office, I met Dom. He was pretty quiet. Soon found out that he's actually the funniest guy in the group.
So when we finally got together and we finally met each other, it was just cool to finally put the names to the face and kind of get to know the personalities.
Alright, well, I showed up late the first day.
And comes in Colin, who was late, of course, as usual. So what is it like working in the office for FCA?
It's a really neat experience and very rigorous, tough, and tedious.
So what was it like being a Maryland club huddle leader?
And a huddle leader is a leader, usually a college age guy or girl, and we lead usually 10 kids per club team. And we meet after practices and in between games at tournaments and discuss the gospel and lead the kids through a small worship time where they have personal devotional time and also can interact with us, the huddle leaders, and ask us questions about faith as we guide them and pour out into their lives.
It was awesome to just be able to be in the office for throughout the day, and then whenever we get out, each day, certain days, each and every one of us would have certain times where we'd have to go to practice. And it was just cool to build relationships with the kids, kind of get to know them.
Definitely learned a lot about myself. Having to throw your faith in front of a bunch of kids that could care less really teaches you about how much you know, and that's where the huddle leader training came in. We definitely were taught a lot about what it's like to lead spiritually and to be a role model for a bunch of kids.
Such a fearless soul. Beside me by truth and wrote my mold.
So travel's a big part of this internship. How did you feel about that?
I thought it was awesome. I think one of the coolest aspects of this internship is just always doing something. I think it's really cool that one weekend we'll be going to this place, 2 days we'll have off, but then we're right on to another trip.
Favorite place that we went to this summer was Vail, Colorado. We had 4 national teams that we brought up there. It was my first time ever being on the West Coast or being in Colorado.
It was really cool to be able to see a bunch of guys from Texas and Maryland kind of come together and, you know, kind of teach me all their ways. And
Ocean City, I think, was a ton of fun. That was like our first tournament we went to. I mean, you're right on the beach. Like, for instance, like Mrs. Kelly brought us up on a bike ride. We went to like the summit of Vail. It was amazing. And then we went whitewater rafting. Like when the kids missed the landing and all the guys had to jump in the water, yelling at these 13-year-olds to paddle for their life.
Slow down, or try to tell the truth.
So here in the office, as interns, we get to do all those tasks, but for us it's really enjoyable because we get to see the excitement that the kids have when they receive their very first Bible or their very first FCA t-shirt. So for us it's more of, we look at the task as something fun and enjoyable, so that way we're able to see the outcome in a couple weeks.
So another part of this internship are service projects. Maybe name one of the service projects we did.
yeah, so the one that stuck out to me that I can think of was Sarah's Hope.
We get down there and we start serving these kids and these families, and you know, you kind of have these like ideas in your head of what it's like, but it's never the same as you think it's going to be. And basically I came out of that more filled than I felt like I had given to people. And then just at the end of the night we got to hang out and play lacrosse with these kids, and interesting enough, being in Baltimore, some of them had never even played or heard of lacrosse. So we're out there with our college gear, giving them our helmets and our gloves to wear, and just hanging out and just seeing this glow on these kids' face.
Probably the one that's most memorable would probably be the time we like helped this this farmer. The best part was when we had to pick 4,000 pounds of zucchini, and it was really like tough work, but it was worth it. You know,
How did your relationship with God grow this summer through the internship?
I think the biggest thing for me was I didn't have specifically a crazy moment, but I had like just a lot of times where God spoke to me and God revealed certain things about my own character and who I am.
I learned throughout the summer was that God really shows up in those moments that you give of yourself and you just say, hey, I can't do it.
So coming into FCA, I had a pretty firm foundation of my Christian life, and I was a pretty devoted Christian, I would say, throughout high school and throughout college. But it wasn't until this summer when I really realized the power of prayer and the power of just daily devotion.
I mean, like, I've always believed in God and I've always had a strong faith, but I was at a low point when I started the internship. And I think God kind of knew that. He like planned that out that way. So I was at the low point. I was like basically doing it for lacrosse and traveling. And then it kind of gradually started turning a corner. Like we started talking about Gospel, which is this book by J.D. Greer, right? Yeah, J.D. Greer. And like some of the stuff he says were just kind of like profound, and you're like makes you think about it. So it's like in the beginning of the internship, I was thinking about it. Near Vail, I was kind of like still thinking about it, you know, like. Then near Gettysburg, I was kind of like starting to put into action. I'm like, all right, like, you know, you can't halfway pull the trigger. You either like pull it or you don't, you know. So.
And this summer we studied the theme Undefeated and really took a look at Corinthians. And in Corinthians 1:15-57, it reads, "But thanks be to God who gives us victory through our Lord Jesus Christ." And I think that verse really sticks out to the whole undefeated theme. And when we're talking about being undefeated, we're not necessarily talking about undefeated on the lacrosse field, but we're talking about being undefeated in your relationship with Christ and your walk in your Christian lifestyle. And just pursuing a Christian lifestyle, being undefeated with your relationship with Jesus Christ, and knowing that when you give all your life to Him and your power to Him and everything you own, give it to God, that's when you're really living that undefeated lifestyle.
You're not alone, 'cause I'm gonna make this place your home.